Today we will be discussing an event which was published in the newspapers on September 20, 2025 regarding an officer who was arrested in a very dramatic situation. The dramatic situation is not under discussion here. What we are discussing is what is the fraud that he has committed to the very high extent of 16 crores out of minors accounts, deceased customers, and long inactive accounts. Why this is very difficult to find out before any problem is occurs, exposing this kind of a fraud. This will be the topic of our discussion today. Here we are discussing not only the news material but similar kind of actions. So therefore, this what is published is not what is discussed here, but how to detect dormant account frauds, and does technology, that is computerization, simplify it or complicate it? This discussion is useful for bankers, auditors, and even account holders. The golden rules of stealing is something that we must keep in mind when we are discussing this topic. It is a well-known saying that for every lock there is a thief. No matter how complicated a lock is developed, there is always a thief who will be able to open it. The only thing is that there should be enough time. Therefore, when alarms are triggered, let there be enough time for getaway. Therefore, when safes are looted, when security areas are breached in a bank, they are looted over weekends or weekends plus holidays, so that a long time is available before it is discovered, by the time the thieves can make their getaway. In terms of accounts, if you steal from any account holder, immediately that account holder who comes the next month to withdraw or update the passbook will come to know that it is withdrawn without his authorization, and therefore the time involved is very low. Therefore, you have to choose some other accounts. Who has access to dormant accounts or inoperative accounts? Naturally, the staff. 99.9% the staff. One would like to say 100%, but there have been cases where non-staff account holder also has non-staff member also has access to this dormant account or has been able to withdraw from dormant account. There was a case where a carpenter was employed to open a drawer which was stuck for years together, and when he opened it, he found out that there is a checkbook inside which he had got one check which was pre-signed, blank. So he took that to the branch, asked how much was the balance, and withdrew it. The signature tallied, although it was old and therefore it was not very perfect tally of a signature, but it was enough to scrutinize for during the day operations and allow the withdrawal. Therefore, in very remote cases, other people can have access to this dormant account. Who has access to dormant accounts or inoperative accounts? Naturally, the staff. 99.9% the staff. One would like to say 100%, but there have been cases where non-staff account holder also has non-staff member also has access to this dormant account or has been able to withdraw from dormant account. There was a case where a carpenter was employed to open a drawer which was stuck for years together, and when he opened it, he found out that there is a checkbook inside which he had got one check which was pre-signed, blank. So he took that to the branch, asked how much was the balance, and withdrew it. The signature tallied, although it was old and therefore it was not very perfect tally of a signature, but it was enough to scrutinize for during the day operations and allow the withdrawal. Therefore, in very remote cases, other people can have access to this dormant account. When are such frauds automatically discovered? When a dormant account gets active, that is logical. When a person who has found out that his account is dormant and he comes to operate it and finds out there are some unauthorized withdrawals or withdrawals which he does not recognize, that time it is found out. And very remotely during audit. Now, this is where we want to change the statistics and through the audit also find out the dormant accounts where frauds have occurred. Let us see in this presentation later on how to do that. Banks are known for its very strict internal controls on a daily basis through on a daily operation, process operation, whatever. But why are such frauds not found out? That is unauthorized withdrawal through dormant account, because of the route taken to siphon the account does not ring bells. What happens is it is a human tendency that amounts going out of the branch are supervised or scrutinized very carefully, and money going into the branch another account, they are not scrutinized so strictly, although they should be, but it's human tendency with the complacency that the money is still in the branch. Or sometimes from dormant account transfers are done to administrative accounts like clearing or suspense, and then from there they are withdrawn or transferred to some saving account and withdrawn. In the last slide, I explained the modus operandi of dormant account withdrawals. The listeners and the viewers should take note that I'm not teaching how to do a fraud, but how to find out. That is, now we will see how to discover the frauds during audit, whether it is a statutory audit or a concurrent audit. During manual times, as I told you before, it was easy to pull out a dormant ledger because it was physically different. In a computerized environment, whether it is total branch mechanization, that is TBM, or CBS, take a list of dormant inactive accounts of the previous year and current year. Why we have to go the circuitous route is because there is no such ready report saying dormant account moved during the year. If there was such a ready report, then life would have been easier for us and all the supervisors. So now you take a list of dormant accounts, that is, it will take accounts which are flagged dormant and print out of the previous year and the current year. Put this data in Excel or whatever worksheet you are used to and find out those accounts which existed last year but do not exist this year. That means they have moved. There may be movement which may be legitimate, that is, the account holder may have genuinely come there and operated the account, but it is a thing to check, and therefore test check such accounts. What happens in the movement of the dormant account is what you have to analyze and therefore arrive at a conclusion whether it is a fraud or whether it is not a fraud. Now, account holders can benefit from this discussion by preventing the account going inactive, that is dormant or inactive, and that these are the salient points normally encountered by any person. Any person who has, from the family, who has passed away, their account should remain open only till the time it is genuinely required. That is, the last income tax filing is normally the event which we keep the account open, and later on it should be closed and not kept open for emotional purposes. All other investments, etc., should be dealt with before as fast as possible. In case of salary change, account change due to salary, due to change in job, the old salary account should be closed and not kept operational or kept with minimum balance only. Monitor all your SB accounts online at least on a weekly basis, so that any issues are there that you can find out on a fast timeline. When you make any transactions, make sure that you receive the SMS from the bank. If not, then you complain to the bank to ensure that your own telephone number is there for the SMS. Remember, when a fraud is done by a staff of the branch, the staff of the branch has access to change the telephone number. Although the internal controls are there for supervision, that is authorization of the change, this is rather maybe loose due to various reasons in certain circumstances. And as far as possible, keep your money in fixed deposit, which is not so available easily for withdrawal from the saving account or inoperative account. That's it from for now. I hope you found the discussion very lively and educational. If you have found it so, then kindly comment and subscribe, and also forward it to like-minded friends of yours who would like to look at this aspect of bank fraud discovery.